Good morning, y'all, y buenos dias. So today's video, I think, is extremely important to have out there, and that is what you don't need for a baby. So there are a million videos talking about what you do need, and a lot of them are extremely excessive. And so I wanted to kind of talk about the things that you don't really need. So if you guys are interested in that, then keep on watching. So before I even start, I want to have a bit of a disclaimer. These things were not necessary for us. For other people, these things might be critically necessary for whatever reason, and this is not a statement of judgment. This is not a, why do you need that? So unnecessary kind of thing. This is just what worked for us, for Luna. And also, on that same note, a lot of these things a lot of the things that are on this list doesn't mean that you don't need the practicality of those things. It just means you don't have to go out and buy that specific item. There is a huge unnecessary amount of spending that is done for new babies, and I was a part of that with Luna. And so even though I already was on board with the minimalist mentality, there was still so much stuff that we bought for Lou that was just unbelievably unnecessary. And this time around, I am buckling down and really zoning in on essentials and what we really need. And that can be really hard, especially for first-time moms, because you're seeing all this stuff and it's really cute and it's adorable and all you want to do is buy it. And I totally get that feeling because, like I said, I was in that same boat and I did it. I got so much stuff that I didn't really need and that I didn't really use. And so this video is dedicated more towards people who are just interested to see like what we did, and also maybe trying to save a buck, because kids can be really expensive because we're told that they need so much more than what they really do. Again, this all depends on your family, your situation, your budget, where you live, what you're comfortable with. And so by no means is this saying, you know, this person who used this is wasteful or anything like that, because we all have different reasons to use different things to make our lives easier. And so now that I've babbled on that, let's get on with things you don't need for a baby. The first one is a nursery. And I know that can be like a shocker to a lot of people, but you don't need a room for your baby. This is one of like the most heartbreaking things to hear, because even though I knew that we were gonna co-sleep with Luna, I still set up our nursery in the other house, and it was cute and it was all white and beautiful, and it was completely unnecessary. She didn't need her own room at all. And although Pinterest will suck you in with those beautiful nursery ideas, it's completely unnecessary, and a lot of the times it's just a waste of money. Not only is that room, it could be used for something else, but all the things that you put in that room come at a pretty penny. Even if you're getting all of your stuff secondhand, it still all adds up. And so a nursery to us was just so unnecessary, and this time around we have no intentions of building any sort of nursery type thing in this house. The second is a million baby clothes and baby shoes. So this again is another difficult one, because there are tons of really cute baby clothes and shoes out there. We did a little bit better with Lou on this aspect, just because we didn't have a lot of clothes, so we didn't think that she was gonna need a lot of clothes, and they don't. Obviously this depends on where you live, if you're gonna have to do layering for your baby, what time of year they're gonna be born, all of those things factor in, but the reality is they don't need that much stuff, and they don't need shoes at all. that's just putting that out there. Babies don't need shoes. They don't. And that was really hard on a lot of our parents, just because, you know, there's so many cute things out there, and as grandparents they really wanted to buy all those things, and we're really lucky that they not only respected all of those things, but they didn't like outwardly just get angry at us, because like I said, I know how difficult it is to have a new baby in your family and you just want to buy stuff for it because you love them already, but a lot of the things are unnecessary. Baby food processor. Don't need it at all. You don't need specific processor for your baby food. If you have a food processor, stick it in there. We didn't have a food processor at all, and so we would just blend the stuff up in our blender, and it works exactly the same. You do not need to go out and buy a $60 food processor just because it has a little smiley face and it's meant for your baby. Completely unnecessary. A changing table. This, again, goes along with the nursery, is very cute, and you think that all of your things are gonna be all together, and if you have any sort of disability, like with your back or anything like that, then a changing table would definitely be a better option. But if you don't, most of the time you're gonna be changing your baby either on the ground or on the couch or literally wherever they're at. And so, especially if you live like in a 2-story house and the changing table is upstairs and you're downstairs, you're gonna change them down there. You're not gonna go all the way up to change them on the changing table. That being said, the convenience of the height is critical. So what we're doing is we have our dresser in our room, and we're just gonna put a little thing on top of there just because we'll use that dresser for the baby, and we'll stick all of the cloth diapers and stuff in there just so it's convenient. But by no means do you need to go buy a $100 changing table just for that reason. So either opt out completely, or the idea of already your dresser that you're using, just kind of sticking a soft whatever thing it's called on top of there, can really save you a pretty penny. A crib. This obviously goes without saying. It depends on your situation and how your sleeping is going to be. But for us, a crib was just unnecessary. Again, when I decorated Luna's nursery, I wanted it to be, Pinterest worthy, and it really was. And I'm so sad that I never made a video on it because it all burned down. But it was super, super cute. But again, unnecessary. And so we had her crib in there, and she may have been in that crib for 30 minutes altogether in the time that we were in that house. Again, I didn't even have any intentions of her ever sleeping in the crib because we were co-sleeping. So I got that for literally no reason. Just to be cute. Just to be cute. And it was unnecessary. Baby entertainment centers. Or baby jails, like some people like to call it. It's the little thing where you stick your baby in there and they kind of like turn around and they have all of the toys and gadgets, or even the mat ones where they're laying there and they have all of the little things like flashing and dinging in their faces. They don't need that. And most of the time they kind of get freaked out in it because it's so much going on at the same time. And most of the times babies are just great if you just, get a soft mat or a blanket or, something soft enough for them to lay down on the ground, and just, they like looking around because they've never seen any of this stuff before. So going along with that is newborn toys. It makes no sense. They don't need it at all. At all. So any sort of form of baby entertainment, like newborn entertainment, is just completely unnecessary. And a lot of the time, like I said, it overstimulates them and they just kind of freak out because it's so much to take in because they've never seen any of this stuff before. So just literally sitting with your baby and looking at them and talking to them, that brings them so much joy and that brings them so much entertainment. So they really, really don't need any form of toys or entertainment when they're newborns. Baby wipe warmer. So I bought this thinking I want Luna's butt to be warm because I wouldn't have it any other way. And we used it for like the first few weeks or so, and then we never used it again because, like I said, most of the time we would change her wherever it was that we were at, not necessarily in the room where the changing table was. And so after maybe 2 weeks, we never used it again. And then once we moved into the next place, we never repurchased it because we didn't find it necessary. A baby robe. And as cute as you may think it is so impractical. Luna had a baby robe, y'all, and again, the cutest thing ever because it's a baby in a robe. But it's so impractical, like to put their little arms in it and like tie it up. Like, no, just get a baby towel. And even that, you don't actually need baby towels. You could just buy small towels and it works exactly the same. But yeah, baby robe, just don't do it. As cute as it may be, just don't do it. Specialized diaper bag, completely unnecessary. You could just get a regular book sack. that maybe you already have or way cheaper than a diaper bag, and it works exactly the same for sticking diapers and wet bags and all of these things that you need. A nursing cover. So this is something that I thought I was gonna use and then I literally never did. Again, this goes without saying that it all depends on how comfortable you are with breastfeeding in public and out in the open. I personally will nurse wherever without covering at all, and so I had that and I never ever used it. The next one is a baby stroller. So this also depends on your family dynamic and just exactly where you live and how it's all settled, but we found that we did not need our stroller at all. I found the cutest little stroller that looked like a little baby carriage, like the old school baby carriages, and I was just gonna, you know, like go and stroll and be all cute and mom-like, and no. Didn't happen because, again, we were a baby wearing family, and so everywhere that we went I was so much more comfortable with just having Luna on me in the baby carrier as opposed to having her in a stroller. And so also the fact that I had a lot of help, this goes in a huge thing, especially newborns. I had a lot of help, and therefore I could give Luna to Zach or give Luna to my mom if I needed some sort of break or anything like that. And like I said throughout the whole video, all of these things really depend on your dynamic and everything in your situation. It just did not work for us. And so this time we actually got a car seat that turns into a stroller, like it's an all-in-one kind of thing. So if we were ever to want to use it in a stroller way, we would have that option, but we don't have a specific stroller just for that. And my last thing is a shopping cart cover. This was another one of the things that I thought were so cute, and Luna had a little gray one and it had like little danglies on it in the front, and she probably used it maybe 3 times, and then I would always forget to put it in the diaper bag. Like I always forgot to put it in the car, and so every time we were in the store I was like, oh crap, I forgot the shopping cart cover or whatever. So what we did once I realized that I didn't really need it was, if the shopping cart was cold or if I didn't want her like on the shopping cart, just put a blanket, you know, I put the blanket on top of the buggy and then she was totally fine. She didn't need like little danglies or anything like that hanging out. And most of the time when she was really little like that, she was in a carrier anyways. So again, I was in the baby vortex. So this is by no means an all-inclusive list of all the things that you don't need, because there are a lot of really random baby things out there that people make you think like you need, and that if you don't buy it, you're a bad parent. Don't fall for it. You get what you think is good for you and your baby. There's so much pressure into buying useless crap, not only for babies, for everyone and everything in general, but specifically for babies. It's just so intense and in your face. You need this, you need this, look at this, this is the new top rated whatever, and it's crap. Like, get what you find would work for your family and go along with that. Another huge thing is to try to get everything you can secondhand. It is significantly cheaper, and just you're way better off on trying to find stuff that way. There's so many stores out there, even online. I know that Poshmark has a lot of stuff for like newborns and stuff like that, and ThredUp has clothes for babies. There are tons of thrift stores out there that specialize on kids clothing. I know that a chain one is Once Upon a Child. There's some down in Louisiana, and there's a couple here in Missouri, and those are really great. Also, Facebook Market is another great place to go and to try to find baby items. There's even furniture and stuff like that if you need things of that nature. But yeah, there's always other ways of looking at it, and I know that it can be really hard, especially for first-time moms, because of the sheer excitement, first-time parents, just because of the sheer excitement of it. And so just by taking a breather and kind of realizing that the most important thing that baby needs is you, and as beautiful of a thought that is, we tend to forget about it. We tend to forget that kids don't really need a bunch of stuff. They don't need a bunch of toys. They don't need a bunch of clothes. They don't need stuff in general. They just want to be with you and spend time with you. As I'm saying this, I'm like looking at the corner of my eye because Zach is pulling Luna on a blanket round and round. And by no means am I saying that like don't ever buy things for your kids or anything like that, because we buy things for Luna and Luna has stuff. And so it's just more so of trying to stay out of that pull and that vortex of infinite buying stuff. Like it's completely unnecessary, and it puts a lot of people in a lot of debt. And a lot of people think that kids are more expensive than they actually are because of that fact, because they think that you need to buy all of this stuff for them when you really don't. Kids are expensive, but they're not as expensive as other people make it out to be. I'll add a link to my baby essentials video down below. I will also make a new video on all of the things that we have for the new baby, just to have a more updated version of it. But as always, if you guys have any comments or any questions, please leave them down below. Tlazocamahti for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.